Okay, so here we are in our final lesson of the actual modeling process for our character. Zach, you've done a wonderful job so far.
Thanks.
Now, at this point, what we need to do is some tweaks.
Absolutely.
Okay, first thing that kind of bothers me a little is the noodle arm.
Yeah, that arm's a little bit thin.
Now, we could definitely say that's a vacuum cleaner arm.
Right. And there's, we can't really, get down on ourselves too much. Basically, don't get down on Zach too much. Because we don't really have a nice a top reference for the arm. We're just kind of going on the fly. But it's still an easy fix. So, basically, what I'm going to do is grab some of these vertices here on the outside of the arm. And I could use the paint selection tool, but I'm just not. And we'll include a couple of these. And we'll go ahead and grab some of the vertices on the back of the arm as well. You'll notice I'm not marquee selecting. At the angle the arm is sitting right now, if I were to start marquee selecting things, I would likely grab some verts on the body as well. So let's go ahead and grab these, and then I'll just scale them up in Z a little bit. And already that fixes a good portion of the thickness of the arm. Let's deselect these vertices out here and just pull out a little bit more. Maybe go ahead and make a couple of quick tweaks to the elbow area. Alright, and while she's not exactly a bodybuilder, she now no longer has those little tiny fettuccine arms.
Yeah, we got rid of the noodle arms.
Exactly.
Okay, now another thing that, personally, I'd like to see is let's go ahead and mirror her back over.
Okay.
In fact, are we pretty much to the point now where we're ready to keep her this way?
Yeah, I think we are.
Okay, so the chest, that bothers me right there a little bit.
Okay. Well, I would agree, because the chest should be flattened up here, and we should only get a division as we get down here to the lower part of the chest. So this is also an easy fix. So, I mean, if you run into something like this, don't panic. That's a great slogan by a great man. I'm just going to make a single cut all the way across the chest from the point of the armor to the following point. And then I'm going to go into face mode and delete these two faces here on the inside of the chest. So they're gone. Then I'm going to go into vertex mode, and I'll merge these two vertices that are across from each other, take my new vertex and the one directly behind it, and merge them. And then with my move tool, I'm already constrained out of the x-axis, so I'll just drag these down a little bit. Let's move away and deselect. How's that look?
Better. Maybe pull it out just a little bit more.
Okay. Like so.
Give that a shot. Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
All right, so now if you go ahead and rotate around to the back, okay, yeah, definitely have some areas in there, a little too dented in, perhaps.
Yeah.
The lat area, the lats are too far out, perhaps. There's a couple of things going on in there.
So let's go ahead and we'll grab these vertices here with the back indentation. We'll pull those out. And we can have a little bit of indentation, but what we had was borderline ridiculous.
I wouldn't say that. It was a lot.
Well, thanks.
Let's not get down on Zach.
So I'm going to take the points here at the lats, and I'll start by scaling them in a little bit, and we can pull them up a little as well. And that's a dramatic change right there.
Okay.
Perhaps take these points here at the back, kind of push them in. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea, actually, to reference things with a
what do you know?
And it looks like these all need to come forward. And these could come in just a little bit. And it looks like our belt back here could use a hand or two. So we'll just go ahead and relocate some of these vertices. And I'll zoom in here and kind of clean this up a little bit. We'll grab these two verts, slide them up. In fact, let's just grab all these. Move them all up till they're about level. And now that actually looks a lot closer to what's suggested in the side drawing.
Absolutely.
So things are looking much better. I'm going to go ahead and take care of our fist hand that we have over on her right side. I'm going to go ahead and show you how we can take the hand that we mirrored over and turn it into the club hand that we need for proper modeling in Unreal.
Yeah, for holding the gun.
Exactly. And this is a lot easier than it sounds. In fact, what it's going to involve as I fly through our image planes a couple of times there is just pretty much collapsing or merging a lot of these vertices, if you will. So I'm going to hit F to frame up on this single vertex. So we're just kind of focused in on this hand area. I'm going to go to face mode. And I'm just going to select all of the faces on the inside of the fingers. So basically in between the fingers. And with them all selected, I'm just going to delete them out. And now here comes some of the fun stuff. We're going to roll around here underneath the hand and go to vertex mode. And I'm just going to start grabbing these vertices and merging them together. This is going to form kind of a mitten for our character, getting rid of the detail of the fingers. And all I'm doing now is just selecting pairs and hitting G to repeat the last command, which was merge vertices. Just speeds things up a little bit. Now let's spin around here to the outside of the hand, and we'll just continue doing the same thing. Doo-dee-doo. And there we go. So now our fingers are gone, and our character now has a mitten. Well, that's close. We're getting much closer to what we want.
Right.
So now we're going to go ahead and work on the inside of the hand, and we're just going to start collapsing pairs of vertices now in this direction. So now that's kind of sharpened her hand up a little bit. So now we'll start merging the next pair of verts together. And yes, you know, I could have just started grabbing big rows of vertices and merging, but I kind of wanted you to see how we're forming this shape. So I'm being a little slower about it, just so you can see where we're going as we work through this. Okay, we've actually almost got rid of all the detail in the hand. I'm actually going to go through here and merge all three of these points together. And now we can actually take this to another level and start merging these together as well. We're really killing off a lot of faces as we do this. Now I'm going to start grabbing some of these vertices and use my move tool. Let's constrain out the Z-axis. And I'll just start pulling these in. And you're going to kind of see how this is already forming a fist-like shape. Just kind of start merging some things out in the thumb because we don't really need it anymore.
Yeah, we can leave just kind of a little bit of a stub sticking out.
Exactly. So I'll merge all of these verts together out here at the tip. And then we'll take that tip and just kind of merge it out here. And we can merge it one more time into that point. Let's go ahead and pull this down. And we can even merge this point in as well. And I'm actually going to add just a little bit of detail in here. I'm going to make one cross cut into the inside of the hand. Pull this vertex out. Not quite that far, but pull it out all the same. And we've got a suggested thumb, kind of a closed fist, if you will.
Of course, they couldn't see you just holding up your hand. And
I know. I can't help it. I mean, when I teach, I always talk with my hands. Of course, you can't really say anything about that.
Yeah, no kidding.
But now I'm going to go ahead and just kind of relocate some of this to better approximate some of the detail that was suggested in the drawing. So that looks pretty good.
Cool.
It's pretty simple, but I mean, really, that's all we need. And there we go.
And we got a lot of history to get rid of.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and do that because wow, all those merge verts. I mean, look at all those.
Yeah, they start to add up.
So there we go. Have one quick look at her. Now let's triangulate her.
Okay.
And see what we get. And she's coming in at 2302.
2302.
That's not bad.
And that's not bad at all. And that's without even going through and really optimizing anything. And we even left some of the spikies in there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and I was even talking about having you take those out a little earlier.
Yeah, I know.
I guess we can leave them at 23. That's not bad.
We can leave these in for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see. You want to just look in real quick? Just maybe kind of look around at a closer take of it just to see if there is anything you can point out that could be removed or merged or...
Well, there's a couple of things.
As
like
examples,
perhaps maybe these two faces here aren't exactly necessary.
Okay.
So, I mean, we could try coming in here and merging them out and seeing if it really dramatically changed our shape, and I don't really see that it did.
No, not really.
We can also come in here and start looking at our armor. Now, we added a whole lot of faces in here when we extruded this stuff out.
As a reminder, though, do remember that when you do something like that, that the other side needs to be taken care of as well.
Exactly.
Since we've already got the mirror.
Exactly. So we could, of course, jump across to the other side if we wanted to. We could delete all the faces on the opposite side of the mirror and just mirror again later. There's so many ways to attack that. And we've got all of these points of detail here that are all kind of pointing in toward the same place, and you just got to kind of wonder if all that's necessary. And actually, I don't know why I even suggested that we could delete the other side. That would kill our little club hand over there.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, that's okay. I was still off in Zach land.
I know. It's all good.
Alright, so we'll just kind of start nixing out detail. Actually, I think I grabbed opposite points of detail there.
Yeah, you did.
That's okay.
Yeah, those two. Yeah, and those two.
And these two. So we'll grab these two here, and we'll merge them, and then we'll grab these two here, and we'll merge them. And we could probably, if we were just feeling...
I might be pushing it.
Maybe. I want to try. I just want to see.
All right.
I just want to see. So pull that out. Now, let me go ahead and deselect.
Yeah, we could get away with that.
I'm thinking we can.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and go back to verts, and we'll go ahead and kill it over here on this side as well. So that's saving us some faces right there. I'm not quite sure what happened here.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Actually, I know exactly what happened here.
What happened?
Can you tell me what happened here? When we were merging verts on the back.
Oh, you grabbed something on the front.
We actually reached through to the front and killed those. That's really not that big of a deal. There's a whole bunch of ways to go about fixing it. We could come in here to edge mode and start killing out some edges. Actually, that'll work. I'll tell you what let's do. Let's actually make our edges just a tad more efficient. This is a really good example of Maya guessing on triangulation and kind of guessing wrong. So we can go ahead and take this edge and delete it and replace it with a cut in this direction.
It's a much better one. And another.
And another on this side.
Very nice.
And we can just go to here. And now we've got the same thing back on both sides. So just once again, like if you do something like that, don't freak out. If you know your tools, you can get by fixing stuff like that. Did I miss something there?
Yeah, I'm looking at that there.
Yeah, looks like it. Okay, so actually, let's go ahead and keep up with the same thing we were doing a second ago. Oh, I see what the problem is.
Okay.
All right, so that fixes that.
Yeah, you got to be real careful when you're selecting
when you're merging,
through like
when
that.
you're selecting through, it can really bite you, and everybody just got to see how it bit me. So that's pretty cool. So now we can come in here, and it looks like we got, maybe some really tiny detail in here that we don't really need. Let me hit F so I can frame up so we're rotating just around that one spot. Maybe we don't need these little tiny faces up inside of here, so maybe we can close these down. While we're at it, let's go ahead and get them on the other side as well.
How's our count looking over there?
Well, we've dropped down to 2285.
2285.
So that's already, pretty good little chunk just for moving a few things around.
Okay, we might have something else over there. Let's see, we got something right in here.
Okay. Like maybe this vertex here snapping down to here? Let's start off, instead of trying to make those things meet halfway, let's actually snap them in place. Let's just see how
I'm
this
looking
looks.
I'm looking at the one side, the other side, rotate a little bit around. Yeah, something's missing.
Oh.
Do you see what I'm talking about now? Well, you've got one line, two line, and one line, and where's your other line?
Oh, I see now. Okay, so we just got edges going in different directions. Once again. As Buzz is actually putting his finger on the screen for me. So, there we go. So we can complete that in that direction.
And then there to there.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay, there. Now I'm feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, okay. I just didn't see that. I've been staring at this model for a little too long. So that gives us a few triangles. Actually jumped us back up to 2286. Ooh. Actually, this is still a pretty efficient model. I'm pleased with how things are going. I'm not seeing a whole lot that I could collapse back here. And I know our head's in good shape because I was very careful as I built that one.
We'll go ahead and just back on away and deselect her and let's see.
Well, actually, here's a couple of things.
Find some?
Here we go. These guys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again.
Mm-hmm.
So that looks much better. Actually, it looks a lot sharper that way.
Mm-hmm.
So not bad at all. So, I think I'm going to pretty much leave it like that. We could argue that we don't necessarily need this band here, right here under the arms, so let's just go ahead and see what happens if we were to collapse that.
Yeah.
Let's just see.
Okay.
We can always undo. And let's back away real quick. In fact, let's go ahead and deselect. We'll go ahead and leave that in.
It kind of looked a little better with it, actually.
Yeah, I had to try. Yeah, indeed, it does look a lot better with it. So we'll go ahead and call that. I mean, you see what we're doing.
Yeah.
You get the idea of how we're going about making these decisions for tweaking. Anytime we have detail, where it's like we have two edges that are pretty much doing the same job, or two vertices that are very, very close to each other and not really showing any change in the geometry shape.
That's right.
Then we fix that. So
at this point, yeah, just go ahead and back away for a second so we can kind of see the whole thing.
Actually, hang on just a minute. Okay, that's just triangulation. We could go ahead and clean up some of this as well.
Could clean that up, yeah.
So let's go ahead and just do that, because now that I'm thinking about it, and get me started on this cleanup stuff, and I'll just go for a while. Now I'm going to select through, and then I'll rotate to make sure that's all I had. And then we'll merge these together. And we can get away with that in several different places right here.
And up underneath. Oh, yeah.
And one last one. We can come around to back. Actually, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I don't want to mess with that too much. Actually, pull this forward a little bit to kind of flatten that out. Now let's go ahead and deselect and see what we got.
So what are we at, 2262?
2262.
And there she is.
So there's our model.
Okay, so as you guys have seen through this process here, basically what we've done is we started with a simple polygon box, or polygon cube, if you will. And through the use of the tools that we demonstrated at the very beginning of this VTM, we've now constructed her.
Basically attached some cylinders and a few more boxes, and we got a model.
Exactly. Now, as you saw throughout this entire thing, the reference images played a very important role.
A vital role.
And with that, we've managed to come in up underneath the poly count we set out, which was trying to keep it at 2,500 or less, so that our character will stay nice and fast inside the Unreal Tournament engine.
Absolutely.
And that's going to wrap it up for the modeling phase of designing a character and getting that character into the game. So with that, Zach, I want to thank you very much. You did an excellent job.
Thanks, Buzz.
And that concludes this VTM.
All right.
Bye-bye.